Hi, Mike.
Hi, Heather. Happy 100th episode.
Happy 100th episode. I'm so excited.
I love the graphic that you did around the edges.
Thank you. Well, we had to do something special for this. This is like a momentous occasion.
Who knew it would go 100 episodes when we started?
It went by fast.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, hope. Yeah, let's keep it going too.
Yeah, we need to reach 1,000.
So let's see what's new with your life.
Let's see. I am just learning D&D.
I thought you were into D&D for years.
I think it was magic.
Okay, because you are
Yeah.
exactly the type that would be into D&D.
And I played a lot of MMOs too, so that probably has a lot to do with it because they're
You
based
are
off
like
of D&D.
one of the rare, like 1% of women that would play D&D. So my compliments for that.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
I
it.
was very into D&D in junior high and high school, but when I went to college, I fell out of it and never got back. But I always liked it. Who knows? Maybe in my retirement, if I find the right group, maybe I'll get back into it.
Oh, that would be so much fun. They have D&D games with celebrities, and you could
Mm-hmm.
go on YouTube and they act it out, and it is so freaking fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Did you
Okay.
ever act it out?
No, we just played with a bunch of nerdy teenage boys, and there were lots of arguments and stuff like that. But no, we never did. But that's a good idea. There could be a lot you could do to make it more fun. But
Yeah.
we have a lot to get to today, so let's not stay on that topic too long.
Okay, sounds
Um,
good.
so the last live stream was on October 26th. So this one is over a month in coming.
Yep.
The big thing that I did since the last one was I hiked the Catalina Trail for the second time. This is a 34-mile trail that goes from one end of Catalina to the other. And I did it with 6 of my hiking friends, and we had a great time. It was great to do it in November because it wasn't crowded and it wasn't so hot. The previous time I did it was in July and it was hot. So this was a very enjoyable 5-day backpacking trip. Was not especially challenging, but we had a great time, and I would love to go and do it again sometime. So highly recommend that if anyone is into backpacking, but nothing too strenuous. And you do need camping permits and everything, so it does require some planning. And I wrote 2 newsletters since the last live stream about it, if you want more information.
Do you have pictures with them?
Yep. The newsletters have some pictures, and I couldn't post all of them, but yeah, there were a lot of pictures were taken.
So if people are watching and they don't know how to become a subscriber, like how would they do that? How could they see this?
You go to wizardofodds.com, and it should actually bother you to become a member. But if it doesn't bother you, go down to the bottom and it says subscribe to the Wizards newsletter and special offers, and you put in your email address and you'll get them. And by the way, you don't actually need to subscribe to get the newsletters. There's a link that said past newsletters, and that has a list of all the old ones that we could find, and they go up on the list immediately. So the Catalina newsletters are right there, ready to go.
Perfect. That sounds fantastic.
Okay, so I've been saying that for this special 100th episode, I challenged my viewers to ask me personal questions, the kinds of things that Barbara Walters might ask, and I got lots of them. So I'm going to try not to spend too much time on any one question. And Heather, you can keep your eye on the private chat, but I'm probably not going to have time for too many gambling questions today. So okay. Shall we get right into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so Changed Millie and Ass Whopper McDaddy asked the most. So I'm going to try to bounce back and forth between theirs. So Changed Millie asks, if some Macau or Monte Carlo casino execs wanted you to live and work at their casino full time, would you pull up your roots in Las Vegas and go? I'm open to anything. They would have to pay me a lot, more than I'm worth to do that. Usually when casinos outside of Vegas contact me, I recommend that we just do it on a consulting basis, which has always worked well. Furthermore, I probably wouldn't do well with a regular 9 to 5 kind of job because I suffer from insomnia, not too badly, but it's hard for me to stay awake or asleep for a long period of time. So to stay awake for a solid 9-hour day, including a lunch, is tough, especially with an office job. It's really unlikely that would happen. Any comments there, Heather?
What if they let you work from the room? If you could work from your hotel room and they gave you a really nice suite, would you do it?
Well, to that, I would say then why even be in the hotel room? I may as well just be back at home. But I think one thing that might work out well, which I hear a lot of people do since COVID, is a mixed arrangement where maybe I work half the time in the casino and half the time I get to stay at home. That could possibly work, but really nobody is asking. And, I have been putting it out there for a long time that I hope to retire in May of 2025. So I don't think anyone's going to want to hire somebody who's going to retire soon. So enough with that question.
Okay.
And let's see the next one. Let's see. So Ask Whopper McDaddy asks, have you ever created, marketed, or sold your own casino game variant? If so, what was it? So I have had 2 games that actually made the casino floor.
Oh.
One of them was called Ties Win Blackjack. That had a field trial in Laughlin at the Edgewater. The gist of that game was that if you got a tie, then you got paid, then you won. You only got paid 1 to 2. And what can I say? Didn't do well. And then I also created a game with the late Dan Lubin that got eventually called Tiger Split Baccarat, which was kind of a combination of Pai Gow and Pai Gow poker and Baccarat. And that had some field trials outside of Las Vegas, and that too did not go well. This is the fate of most casino games, by the way. But, I believe strongly in business that if you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. And I think most business ventures do fail, but some of them are an enormous success, and you just got to keep trying and waiting for something that works out.
Yep. It's really just about luck.
Well, what goes in it's not just luck. It's also how hard you try, and it's just the idea to begin with.
Yeah. And Dan Lubin was so nice. I mean, he was such a wonderful person.
Yeah, but a luck factor is, what casinos take it and do they really want it? A game might work in 90% of casinos, but if it gets a field trial in one of the other 10%, it'll do badly and no one will take it after that. Everyone asks, how did the game do in field trial? And if it doesn't do well, nobody's going to listen to a thing you say.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. Any comments from the peanut gallery?
So far about what we've talked about? Because we have a lot of casino questions in here.
Why don't we kind of bounce this? Well, I would remind the people in the private chat that this is supposed to be a special show. So no normal gambling questions this time. This time we're supposed to be probing deep.
Well, Source Keen says that the congratulations on your book. He has a copy at home and he is looking forward to reading it.
Oh, I forgot to make an announcement about that. Where do I even get here? No, shoot, where's the new copy?
While he's looking for that, Did you find it? Okay.
No,
Well, he's looking for that. We were talking about inventing casino games. It's really hard to get into the industry. Like, I think it's what, 1 to 4% actually get into the industry and everything.
yeah, I would put it like 1 to 2%.
Yeah. And
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
oh, you're good. It's just a lot of casinos, they only have so much square footage in their casinos, you know? So if they put your game in the casino, they have to take a game out. And if they take, like, say, blackjack, for example, that's making 20 to 30,000 a month, and they put your game in, they're really taking a big risk and everything on it. So a lot of casino managers are very iffy when it comes to doing this.
Yep, absolutely. So, what was I going to say? Surprisingly, I can't find a copy of the new version here. I know I have a bunch up in my bedroom, but I don't want to run up and get them. But yes, Gambling 102, the 3rd edition, is finally out in softcover. It's $19.95. You can buy it at Amazon. It gets shipped from Huntington Press, and this is the longest version yet. It's about 25% bigger than the previous one. It has a lot of coverage about vulturable slot machines and Ultimate X Keno and Ultimate X Video Poker. So, and this is the first time, as far as I know, that information about how to beat these vulturable or variable state slots has been put into print. So I think, you know, if I may toot my own horn, I think that it's breaking new ground, and I hope you'll buy it. And that's, you know, in all fairness, you can find the information scattered about my website, but I think that it's nice to actually have like a physical book that you can sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. And this is your, how many books have you written?
Well, just the one, but 3 editions of it.
Okay, sounds good.
You know, I am thinking about self-publishing a book on logic puzzles and math problems, and I haven't gotten around to that. But it's you know, I like on the Catalina trip, I tortured my fellow hikers with logic puzzles the whole time, and it would be nice to have like a single source where I keep all of them, because when I got back home, I remembered some others that I forgot to ask on the trip, and I was kind of mad at myself. But anyway, let's keep it going here. Okay, Gilmer has some questions for you, Heather.
Oh.
Okay, number 1 is, what advice would you give the wizard to improve his live stream?
Oh my God, you put me on the spot. So
answer privately later if you want.
Timestamping. Timestamps would be so amazing. And what you do is you have to watch it. You have to do like the time that we talk about a certain subject, what subject we talk about, but we have to put the timestamp, that information, in the description. And then YouTube will automatically go into the video and timestamp each little spot, so it's easier to find the information you're looking for.
We already do that. Gilmer actually provides me with the timestamps. And those always get posted on Wizard of Vegas, and I try to post them in the video descriptions. I admit that sometimes it takes me a while to do that, but yeah, we already do that.
Yeah, so that would be my advice to you, is be more consistent about putting the timestamps in the description.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to Changed Millie here. She asks, How badly do you think MGM botched the response to the latest hack, and does it shake your confidence in them as a customer? Ooh. This is not something I know a great deal about. I did speak with somebody who used to work at MGM, and she said that this incident did not surprise her at all, that MGM, their technology was very dated and they're very cheap about security. And as to the response, it's hard to criticize them for paying the ransom like Caesars did, but because at least they have principle. But boy, did they really inconvenience their customers. But, I was just looking at my stocks this morning, and my MGM stock has been performing really well. So I'll do credit where credit is due, whereas my Win stock is way down. And that's about as far as I can take that one. Again, it's not my area of expertise.
Well, you're looking for the next one, Marcello.
Okay.
I am so sorry, I am butchering your name.
Mauricio.
Marcio. Okay. He says, Mike, you're.
I think he's our Italian friend.
Oh, cool. Hi. Mike, you are always my go-to resource when I want to learn a new game and play it right.
Thank you for saying so. I always appreciate kind words like that. Okay. So let's move on to the Wizard of Vegas questions. Ask Whopper McDaddy asks, what aspect of gambling wagering do you find the most exciting or appealing? To me, it's analyzing the game. That's what I do. That's what I do best. And I view every casino game as a math problem. So I love to just get my hands dirty with the math and the coding of a game. And as to actually playing the games, I don't find it as exciting as I used to when I first moved to Vegas, and certainly before then. I actually really enjoyed playing for low stakes, but what can I say? I guess I'm bored with it. I will like playing with friends, maybe visiting from out of town, because they clearly will like it, and that will rub off on me. But you would almost never see me playing alone in the casino unless I perceived some really good advantage play.
Did you get that excitement when you were traveling around the world and playing in different casinos?
That was more fun because there, I like meeting people from other countries, and I think that should be a part of traveling. So when you're sitting in a casino, say playing a table game, you do get to interact with regular people, and and it's good for what I do to notice procedural differences in the way people do things in other countries. So yeah, in fact, when I do travel, I make it a point to try to visit any casinos wherever I am.
Are there any casinos you haven't visited that you want to visit in the world?
There's certainly a lot of places I'd like to go, but I can't really think of any casinos that I haven't been to that I really want to go to. I wouldn't mind checking out the casinos in Cambodia. Yeah, when I travel, it's not for the casinos. That's a added benefit.
Cool. We have a comment here from Northern Jim that says, I cannot even put a dollar figure on the difference you've made in my casino experience. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome, Northern Jim. Okay, let's move on here. Here's another question from Gilles for you, Heather.
Cool.
Does the wizard ever mansplain things to you?
Nothing that I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay.
Is that an acceptable answer?
That's acceptable.
Okay.
I would like to think that I don't do that.
If you did that, I would call you out on it.
Yeah, no, I think that I would be embarrassed if you said yes. So,
and it's kind of fun to fight with you. Like, I really enjoy it when we go back and forth and everything. And no, I disagree. No, I disagree. No, I have so much fun with that.
Yes, I love a good debate. And yes. It's hard to find things we disagree about, but once in a while we do.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move back to Changed Millie here. If you didn't become a mathematician, what profession do you think you would have gotten into? Ooh. Let's exclude the sciences. That's a gimme. It's hard to exclude that, but when I went into college, I was originally a computer science major, and in my sophomore year, I had two really difficult classes, and frankly, I think bad professors at the same time. And I got through the freshman weed out year quite well. and I did where they taught us Pascal, and I did really well with that. But then suddenly they hit me with C in assembly, and I just did not get assembly, and it was causing me a lot of stress, and I was running out of money, so I had to work at the same time, and that was a tough year for me, probably the second toughest in my life, and so I switched to an easy major, being math and economics, and what happened. I absolutely have no complaints about how my life has turned out. Um, but who knows? Had I stuck with that, I probably would have, coded, for some aerospace company, probably full time, and that's what I might be doing right now. And so, maybe it was all for the best that I did switch. And also, so after I graduated from college in 1988, which was a horrible time to graduate from college with no valuable experience because the stock market had just tanked and nobody wanted to hire a college graduate with no experience. So I went back to school to get a teaching credential to be a high school math teacher, and I almost finished that. But during the summer, I still only had one more class in my student teaching to do. I took a federal government employment exam, and from there I stumbled into a job with the Social Security Administration, and the rest is history. But had I not read the paper one day about this test that the government was giving for college graduates, I probably would be a high school math teacher to this day. And frankly, I think I would have had, quite a good life doing that. I think I would have been good at that. I mean, I hope my readers can tell that I'm passionate about math and I like to enlighten people about mathematical things. But, what happened. And, but those are two tracks that I easily could have taken, that maybe if there's alternate realities, some of my duplicates are doing those things right now.
Do you believe in the multiverse?
No one's ever asked me that before. I don't really think such things are knowable. And the skeptic in me thinks that if you don't have evidence that something is true, you should default that it's not true. So, so my position on things like that is I'm going to assume not until I get some evidence that it is true.
Cool. And I love how you think math is an easy subject.
Oh, I just love math. And, it comes pretty easily to me. Now, when I got to differential equations in college, I will admit that it started to get tough at that point. And I hate to blame this on the teacher, but I had a really bad teacher for what was called Math 5C. And I got through it, but with a C, coincidentally, which in college is kind of a bad grade because it's usually A's and B's. So I don't claim to be like a super mathematical genius. I'm very good with the level of math that you need to analyze casino games. But in terms of like really complicated engineering problems or really abstract things, you should get somebody else because my level goes only so high.
So I have a question from the audience, from the viewers. What brings you the most joy since starting creating content and teaching so many people?
Well, those things in itself gives me a lot of joy, but I outside of that, I really enjoy mountaineering, especially class 5 rock climbing, rappelling, canyoneering, mountain climbing, those kinds of things that I do write about in my newsletter. And, I also enjoy unicycling, jogging, inline skating, things like that. So that's my answer to that one.
Awesome.
Okay, let's go back to Ask Whopper McDaddy. He asks, as an avid health enthusiast, do you ever give yourself cheat days? What food would it take to put you over maybe vanilla ice cream over that banana pancake. I would say I'm an exercise enthusiast, but I'm not so much a healthy eating enthusiast. I mean, I do try, but I, I don't, I'm not at the point where I will only have vanilla ice cream on pancakes once in a month. If I could have it whenever I want to, but I would try to keep the portion in moderation. So that is my answer to that one. And Geomayor has one more question for you, Heather. What's your favorite cosplay costume to wear? I confess to enjoying your mirror outfit.
Thank you so much. That was the only outfit I've ever sewn by myself. I mean, technically I had help because my friend was telling me what to do because I don't know how to sew. But I love Star Trek. I love cosplaying in Star Trek. I have this one costume that I really want, but I have to make it or get someone to make it or do something. Have you watched Picard season 2? No? Okay. One of the characters has this ripped red dress, ball dress, and then these Doc Marten army boots on. And I freaking love this outfit. That would be it.
Okay, let's talk more about this after the show. But before I forget, I have a friend here in Las Vegas, one of my hiking friends, and she is a professional seamstress. And she made all my Burning Man outfits. And let's talk about how she can help you after the show, okay?
Oh, cool. Okay. It sounds good.
All right. So any comments from the peanut gallery?
Yep. Jack Ace asked, if you were a card, which card would you be?
I never really thought about it. I don't know. I'll be one of the kings. I'll be the king of clubs.
Okay. I would be the 7 of clubs because that's lucky. 7's lucky, clubs is lucky.
Okay. I didn't know clubs were especially lucky.
Yeah, because it's the 3-leaf clover because it's a club, but I mean, it represents a 4-leaf clover in my opinion.
Okay. I didn't know that. Thanks. Okay. Let's see. So Changed Millie asks, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Nothing really stands out. I do tend to like the coffee flavors. Lots of times I will have a mixture of like if it's a milkshake or multiple scoops, something like mocha and vanilla.
That sounds good. I make my own. And I love sorbets. So I do 1 cup water, 1 cup sugar, 1 to 2 lemons, and then a bunch of frozen strawberries. And I puree it and freeze it. And it makes such good sorbet. And then I do homemade whipped cream and I put that on top. And then I do sprinkles.
Okay. All right. Getting back to Wizard of Vegas questions, Ask Whopper McDaddy asks, tell us about your Barcelona trip and bucket list destinations. So I think I talked about Barcelona on the last live stream, but Barcelona is great. It is such a fun city. It's pretty affordable. The people I find are very friendly, and I would put that perhaps as my favorite city in Europe. Amsterdam is a close second, though. But while I'm on the topic of southern Spain, I really like the island of Ibiza, and even more than that, the island of Formentera, which is just a short 1-hour ferry trip from Ibiza. And I don't want to waste too much time on this, but highly recommend that. And bucket list destinations. Oh, there are so many. Let's see. I would like to do more international mountain climbing. I would like to do stuff in Argentina, maybe the Patagonia region. It's kind of on my thought list to do Aconcagua, the highest mountain in South America. And I would love to go back to New Zealand. Loved my first trip. And let's see. Mm, I would like to do more islands. I was just appraising the island of Ibiza, and I just came from Catalina, another island, and there's something about islands that I really like. I find people to be more relaxed and friendly and not as much of a rush. So I wouldn't mind going to places like Fiji or the Marshall Islands, maybe Samoa, um, places in the South Pacific, like Tahiti's, places like that. So I certainly could see myself doing that, and I'm sure there are other places, lots of other places I'm forgetting. But that's my quick answer.
Cool. We have another question here from the viewers. Did you watch the movie, and this is from Northern Jim, did you watch the movie where two climbers are on like a 2-mile hike?
Antenna.
Yeah. What is the worst situation you found yourself in while climbing?
I think you might be referring to the movie Touching the Void. It didn't involve an antenna, but it did involve two climbers, and I do believe it was Patagonia, and they were all by themselves in a very remote area, and they were long roped together, and one of them fell into a crevasse, and the other person climber who didn't fall kept calling him and calling him for hours, and there was no response, and he was pulling on the rope, and the other climber couldn't go anywhere because he was tied together to basically like a rope with a really heavy weight on it. And so he eventually had to make the tough choice to cut the rope and try to save himself. And that's as far as I'll take it. But yeah, I did saw the movie, and I really liked it. And I pretty much like all the mountaineering movies, to be honest with you. So yeah, and just about any mountaineering movie I go out of my way to see, and I generally like them.
Cool.
But the fact that you bring up the word antenna makes me wonder if I'm talking about the right movie. So that's about as far as I can take that one.
Have you been stuck in any bad situations when you've been climbing?
Not really. For all the adventurous stuff that I do, I've never had a bad injury. I've never had, like, shall we say, a close call. No, I think that I'm a very safe person, and I believe that the best way to, how do they put it, um, react to an accident is to not have the accident in the first place. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're not one of those people that go right up to the edge of a mountain to take a selfie. That helps.
Right. Yeah. So, I know my limits, and I stay within them, but maybe I've just also been kind of lucky in that. I mean, sometimes people do die from, like a climber above you kicks a rock on you or something like that.
Oh.
And people just sometimes just slip. And I have been on hikes where other people almost had a very serious injury, but I, if I may say, I seem to live kind of a charmed life, and things just seem to cut my way a lot.
Yeah, you're like naturally lucky.
I don't like the word lucky, but for as skeptical as I am, I do kind of believe in karma, and I try to put good karma out there, and it seems to come back to me. But maybe it's just the coinky dink, as Bugs Bunny would say.
Okay, what's our next question?
Okay. Ask Whopper McDaddy. He asks favorite casino game, or I'm sorry, favorite casino on and off the strip. So I've been asked this one before, but on the strip, I like the Wynn, and off the strip, I like the South Point. And let's just move on to another one. I don't want to belabor that question.
Okay.
He also asks heroes and people you look up to. I'm not one that idolizes people. I mean, if you look around my office, you don't see pictures of people that I worship or anything like that. It's mainly pictures of hot, gorgeous women. But so nobody really comes to mind. I'll say my favorite character in the Bible is Mary Magdalene. My favorite person in the gambling world is Stanford Wong. My favorite presidents in my lifetime, not to say the best, but my favorites were Richard Nixon and Bill Clinton. And if anyone else has another category, you may put it in the private chat. But I'm not into like self-help books and philosophies and following leaders. I try to figure things out myself, and where I can learn from others, I do. But I've never found anyone who I agree with so much that it approaches like a fan or a worship status.
Okay, cool. Okay, next question.
Okay, let's see. Let's go back to Changed Millie here. And okay, if you only had one specific casino game to play the rest of your life, what would it be? What casino games in general bring you the most pleasure? So this one's been asked before, but if you take the house edge out of it, and every game had the same house edge, I really like Pagao Tiles because has a complicated strategy, and it brings, I think, very smart people to the table. So it engenders good conversations with other people at the table, and I guess I take some pride in that. If I may toot my own horn again, I claim to have integrated that game, because before I wrote about it, you never saw anybody who wasn't Asian playing that game, because there were no rules available to the game. And I think that non-Asians would be intimidated to play it. And if they did play, they probably would have been intimidated to leave by the other players. But I spent a lot of time coding and analyzing, writing about that game. So that's kind of a labor of love. But if you do bring the house edge into it, I think right now I'm going to go with Ultimate Texas Hold'em, which may surprise some people, but that has a very low house advantage of 0.5% compared to all the money that you wager in that game. And maybe I'm a little bit bored with blackjack and video poker. So there you go. There's my answer to that one.
Cool.
Any comments in the gallery?
Yeah, Mauricio just said that he put in his order on Amazon for your book. And then we have another question from Northern Jim that says, why do you not make TikTok videos, like short advice videos or little 15-second videos?
No one's ever asked me that before. I don't even have a TikTok account, but I'm not a short answer kind of guy. It's often difficult to explain gambling related things of a mathematical nature in a short, quick soundbite, which it's my impression that TikTok is about that it's more about entertainment, and it's not where you would go to ask an in-depth math question. I am thinking about making more content on slots for YouTube, by the way. It's just kind of one of the things that I might prioritize next year. So that is about all I can say about that one.
If you did go on TikTok, I could see you as having like one of those big old whiteboards and everything, and then like writing on the whiteboard, trying to explain math and everything. That's how I see it.
That might be how I would do it. One of my favorite YouTube channels is called Black Pen, Red Pen. And it's this Asian guy, and people challenge him with math problems, and he sits there with his whiteboard and he solves them. But he also has a great sense of humor, and he has a 2-colored pen, red on one side, black on the other. And I really like the way he explains things. And to be perfectly honest, a lot of my Ask the Wizard questions were culled from his channel, and lots of times I try to change them a little bit. But that's how I would do that. But I can't see like a 10-minute explanation of a math problem on a whiteboard would do well on TikTok. I think it's more YouTube appropriate.
Okay. Do you want to do another one, or you want me to do another one?
Oh, and by the way, I have a great whiteboard in my house in my so-called ping
Yeah.
pong room. And like you can see it in some of my videos. Like I have a video where I draw out a map of the United States. That's done on that. So I really have a good setup for that. I really could use a good videographer, to be honest with you. I to help with that. I've been looking for years. If anyone
I
knows
should
me,
just explain it to you. I should just walk you through the process.
but lots of times I need someone to like pivot the camera.
Yeah.
I have a
Oh,
big
you need,
whiteboard,
yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
and it
Gotcha.
would be good
Gotcha.
to just have someone to make suggestions, like who can actually just adjust the camera, as opposed to me like taking a picture of myself and having to go back and forth several times. And if the camera runs out of battery, I'm not going to know, and it is
That
so
makes sense.
frustrating.
That makes sense.
Okay. Anyway. Okay.
I got one.
Okay.
Can you name a topping on a burger that you would enjoy that would absolutely horrify me?
Hmm. Um, I like avocado.
Avocado's good.
How about anchovies?
Oh yeah, that would horrify me.
Okay, there we go. I
Okay.
love anchovies, and I don't know why people don't put them on hamburgers, but they should.
Oh, it's too salty.
That's what's good about them. And hamburgers are supposed to be a little bit salty.
Do
No,
you have a question?
I think that when my first job was working at a fast food place, and I think that we shut. Gosh, I'm trying to remember. No, maybe not. But I think that hamburgers should have a little bit of a salty flavor to them. Just my opinion. And I don't like sweet hamburgers. Like I don't like pineapple. I also don't like pineapple on my pizza.
I love pineapple on my pizza. But I do everything. I put as many toppings as I possibly can on a pizza. So pineapple's one of them.
Yeah, no. I mean, I won't refuse to eat it. I will refuse to eat olives, but
Yeah.
but you know, when it comes to like a group decision, what toppings to pick, I'm never in the pineapple camp. There's always somebody who really is enthusiastic about pineapple, and it usually divides the room. But I also do not like having one half this way, the other half that way. I am big on simplicity. So I would be one to say, let's flip a coin for who decides rather than make it 50-50.
Dude, if it's an anchovy pizza, it's your pizza.
Oh yeah, anchovies are a great topping on pizza. I have a pet peeve that if you order anchovies on a pizza, it could be a huge pizza and they only put 4 anchovies on them. No, be generous with the anchovies, people.
Oh goodness. Mo the Cat says, congratulations on 100 episodes. That is fantastic. The Hong Kong Jockey Club is very interesting and the best. They could use a top-notch mathematician combined with a gamer mentality, and they have endless money.
I didn't even know that. To be honest, when I've been to Macau twice, and I'm not sure if you're referring to the racetrack there. I have never seen a casino in Macau except maybe like slots only. But anyway, anybody is welcome to contact me. And I do enjoy working for real casinos, and I love Hong Kong. My arm would not have to be twisted that hard to go back there.
You lived in China, right?
I've never lived there, but I've been to China. I believe 5 times, and 2 of those times I went to Hong Kong.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Changed Millie asks, "What's the best piece of advice for a gambler to hear?" This is a question I get a lot. To really boil it all down, I would say pick the low house edge games and play them properly, and keep it in moderation. And there is no secret sauce to varying your bet size to improve your odds. So there's my quick executive summary on that one.
Okay. Yeah, because we are trying to keep it to personal questions and not gambling questions for our 100th episode. So if any of you guys are in the chat wondering why I'm not asking your question, that's why.
Okay, I'm really running through these pretty faster than I had planned. So Heather, feel free to ask more questions from the peanut gallery.
So
especially if they're not gambling related.
Yeah. Mauricio says, question for both. What does a regular day in your life look like? What do you eat? When are you working? When are you not working? What are your guilty pleasures?
Good question.
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you want to go first, Heather?
I don't know. You?
Okay. My regular day is I usually get up early, and especially when it's hot, I like to get in my exercise early, which could be running, unicycling, inline roller skating, bicycling. If I'm doing a hike or a climb or running a canyon, that's probably going to take the good part of the day, which I do a lot, but that's not, shall we say, the regular day. The regular day, I might try to exercise in some form for about 2 hours, and it usually involves something with wheels. And then I'm here looking at this computer that I'm looking at right now, and my income is a mixture of doing wizard work and private consulting. It's all gambling related, and guilty pleasures. I don't feel guilty about anything that I do. Maybe I drink too much wine and too much coffee, to be honest with you, but I don't feel guilty about like doing anything that hurts other people. And you would probably see me like going in and out of my office a lot because I tend to, I don't know, get bored with one task. So I might work on something for an hour and then I might do something else. And yeah, that's kind of how I am. And, in the evening, I like to watch Jeopardy or, watch some TV of some sort. And that's probably my best time for like fooling around on Facebook and watching YouTube and stuff like that.
Okay.
Is there I'll take that one.
Is there a YouTube channel you really like to watch?
There's so many that I like. I'll like give a more detailed answer, but I like the math related YouTube channels a lot. And I tend to watch a lot of music YouTube videos. I tend to, there are some artists that like to do new covers to like classic 80s songs, things like that.
Oh my God. I know this one artist who took Anti-Hero from Taylor Swift and made it into a death metal song, and it's now my favorite song.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
For me, what a regular day in my life looks like, it just really depends on what day is it. Is it a weekend? Is it a weekday? I'm doing something on, certain days. I get up. If I have any dreams, I write the dreams down. I answer emails. I take care of Pip because Pip, my dog, is getting older, so she's having problems and she needs a lot of time and care in the morning. And then I do work, and it just depends whether I'm working on the website or whether I'm working on a project or a client project or something like that. My business has a lot of casino game inventors, so we're working on a lot of new games and everything for the business. And then when I'm done working, I play Yahtzee with Mike. And then I do artwork and drawing, or I'll read a book, or I'll play video games at night before I eat food and go to bed.
Yeah, I forgot about the Yahtzee. So in my
Yahtzee.
thinking around after dinner time, Heather and I often play Yahtzee, and that's always the first person to win 3 games.
Yeah, and we've been doing this for years now. We have like over 1,000 games or something.
Yep.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, it never gets boring.
Never. And then what do I eat? I eat a lot of fruits. I eat a lot of vegetables. And what was the other one? My guilty pleasures. Ooh. Playing video games.
I don't think you need to feel guilty about that.
Oh, but I could spend a lot of time playing video games if I like a game.
Okay.
That's the guilty part.
Okay, let's move on here.
Okay. So Northern Jim says that the movie he was referring to is called Fall, and they were on top of an old TV antenna 2 miles above the ground.
I will look into that. I just wrote it down.
Cool.
Okay. Okay, Ask Whopper McDaddy asks, if you ever had to move out of Nevada, where would you choose to settle? That's actually something that's been on my mind a lot, because I already mentioned that I'm hoping to retire when I turn 60 in 2025. And I might like to move into the house that my mother lives in, buying out my brother's shares. However, I think one of my brothers has an eye on that too. And, you know, who knows how long my mother will live. She's almost 90. So we'll see. That's a possibility. But if that doesn't work out, I might leave Las Vegas. Reno is a possibility. I like Oregon, Washington, and Idaho. I kind of like Flagstaff, Arizona. You know, it would definitely be somewhere in the West. And I would like to be close to mountains and water, preferably a lake. And I would also like to be fairly close to a big city, but not necessarily have to be right in one. I kind of have my eye on Bend, Oregon, also Bellingham, Washington. And yeah, so yeah, definitely something that I'm thinking about. And whenever I run across people from these places, I pick their brains about how they like it. So yeah, there you go. Heather, I can't hear you.
It would help if my mic wasn't muted. When you go and you travel to different places and you talk to different people about what it's like to live there, have you found any places that just seem really like, I don't know, nice, like nice people, nice, you know, community, just everyone is just nice?
You know, I found people in rural Texas to be really friendly, to be honest with you. Like I went to Shackleford County, Texas, and yes, there is such a place. And everybody was just so nice. Maybe, and you know, I did throw it out there that that's my last name. Maybe
Yes.
that's nothing to do with it, but I, yeah, I do, yeah, I do find people from the South and Texas, especially in the rural parts, to be the friendliest people in the country. I did find people in New Zealand to be really friendly, which is one thing I like about it so much. Yeah, and in terms of Europe, I found people in Spain to be quite friendly, the friendliest I've encountered in Europe. One place that is definitely not friendly, I must say, is China. You know, I've been there many times, but people there is friendliness is not one of like the adjectives I would use for the people there.
Okay. Northern Jim says that
Go ahead.
Sorry, Northern Jim says that the friendliest people he's met was in Seoul, sorry.
South Korea. I've only been to the Seoul airport, so I can't make any good comments about that. But South Korea is on my list.
You've never been to South Korea?
Just the airport. I had a long connection to make there.
Oh, okay. Definitely on the bucket list.
Okay. Let's see, what else do we got here? Okay. Ask Whopper McDaddy also asks, tell us about your female gambling groupies. So unfortunately, 98% or so of my fans are male, and the other 2% are probably only two people, to be honest with you. But they're, shall we say, both over 40, and they're very nice women, but they're not what would come to mind as like a groupie. They're more just like good friends, fans, you might say. And yeah, so yeah, that's it would be kind of nice to have a groupie like one that might follow around a heavy metal band, but hasn't happened yet.
Well, I think what we need to do is we just need to have you do talks in certain parts in like America, and then we'll eventually get the groupies following you. Like we'll collect groupies on the way.
I don't think I could do that, and I'm sure I would like it, but yeah, I wouldn't do it for the reason of finding groupies.
The Wizard of Oz on tour. Buy your tickets now.
Okay, enough about that. Any comments or questions from the peanut gallery?
Yeah, Dieter says anchovies is the bacon of the sea. So I had to do that. And then Mauricio says, I would love to see more content on slots from you, Mike. That would be amazing. Very few people have relative content about how algorithms on slots actually work.
Okay. Yeah, by the way, I like the anchovies of the sea comment. And algorithm is one word, by the way, that I try to stay away from. I find people abuse the word a lot. And I also find people tend to abuse the term random number generator a lot. Yeah. But again, if I may put in a plug, my new book has lots of material on slots, and next year I probably will add some more slot analysis to my site of new games that can be beaten. But yeah, things are running kind of busy for me right now, so I haven't had time for that at the moment.
Well, it's the end of the year. You have Thanksgiving, you have Christmas. Are you doing anything fun for Christmas?
No. I like to take a winter vacation somewhere, but nothing has really, we can't seem to agree on anything to do. So we'll probably just stay here. There is talk about doing a ski trip in January, though, when it won't be so crowded. And I'm looking forward to the total solar eclipse in Waco, Texas on April 8th. Yeah, but it's going to be kind of a quiet Christmas for the Wizard family this year.
Okay. Well, it looks like we are pretty much done. We have 2 minutes left.
Oh, wow. Well, I timed this well because it looks like I just really have one more question. What anecdotal differences have you noticed in people who are in scientific fields compared to those who aren't? I hate to stereotype, but I find that people who are very good at math and science tend to not be good communicators. They tend to not work well as a team. They don't corroborate well. All these things are true of me, by the way. And but they're very good at what they do. And if you need a bridge designed, they're the ones to turn to. And I think they're very good at focusing very deeply on a very specific task. But meanwhile, they're probably bad at multitasking. So yeah, so there you go. There's my answer to that one. Any final good questions or comments from the peanut gallery?
Nothing that's personal. We have a ton of gambling questions, which if you guys asked, please come back next time and ask again. We will answer those then.
Yeah,
But
so yeah, I'm sorry for all the gambling questions we didn't get to.
yeah.
So hopefully I've explained the reason, but we will get back to your normal gambling question next time. Speaking of which, shall we schedule that, Heather?
Yeah, let's do that.
How about December 14th?
December 14th. That's, let's see. I cannot do it on the 14th.
Okay.
21st.
Okay, the first day of winter. That's good with me.
Okay, cool. Got it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you
Yay.
everyone who attended, and thanks everyone who provided questions. Thank you, Heather, for all your help.
Oh, thank you for 100 episodes. I've had so much fun.
Me too. Me too. Oh, and by the way, you know, I kind of wanted to get a cake, but I'm so lazy with things like that. But I do have a black and white cookie.
Ha, nice.
I'm going to take a bite out of that in celebration. Okay.
So does it taste like chocolate? Does it taste like vanilla? Inquiring minds want to know.
I think it would be hard to do a taste test and tell the difference because it's so sweet. That's a good question. Could I tell the difference between the sides based on taste? I don't know. You can see that I took a bite that was half and half. So, which kind of goes to show my philosophy. Let me get one question in that I think I forgot.
Okay.
Somebody asked, I think it was not on my list here, but I recall somebody asking, like, what is my life philosophy?
Ooh.
So, you know, I don't have like a single philosophy. There's no like particular person or religion that I really subscribe to, but it's more of a collection of things that I've picked up here and there. I do one message I once got in a fortune cookie that I already believed in, but I like the way it put it is judge others leniently and judge yourself harshly. So I try. That's really like deeply rooted, I think, in who I am. I try to see the other person's side on anything, and I'm really tough on myself when I make a mistake. And I think the world would be a better place if more people had this kind of philosophy. It's not a very good philosophy if you're aiming for a lot of happiness, especially in the short term. But I do think it's a good philosophy if you're aiming to be a better person and make the world a better place. I do strongly believe in keeping busy, both physically and mentally. And I think this gets even more important as you get older. And what else can I say? Yeah, I like challenges, but maybe that's the same thing as keeping busy and learning new things. And yeah, I'm sure that I'll think of other things I should have added to the list later. But yeah, and also I believe in prioritizing the battles that you fight. When I was younger, I would stand on principle a lot more and fight over little things. But now I find in the interest of mental health, it's good to let a lot of things go. Like, let's say you get cheated, then I would say, somebody's at the door here. Hold on.
I got it. You're good. Oh my gosh.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. To choose your battles. So there you go. There's kind of some of my major elements of my life philosophy. Anything you would care to add, Heather?
My life philosophy, life is hard, and people make mistakes, and mistakes are normal, and mistakes are part of the process. And it's not anything to feel bad about, and it's not anything to get upset about, because life is full of them. That's just off the top of my head, so I hope that's okay.
I agree 100%. Life is hard is the fundamental tenet of Buddhism. And I mean, you heard me say that I like challenges, and I think that life itself is a challenge, and you should embrace it. And if like, let's say it's raining and you have to walk somewhere, then you shouldn't be cursing at the rain. You just have to accept that it's raining, and you know, adjust the situation from there. And yeah, absolutely. You know, you heard me say about judging other people leniently. So when I catch other people in mistakes, I would like to think I'm very forgiving of that.
Yeah, you are. Should be lenient with yourself too, because you're pretty awesome. So.
Oh, well, thank you, but I'm not, but I should be. Anyway, I've got a repairman wanting my attention here, and we're 6 minutes over anyway. So again, thank you everybody, and thank you, Heather. And I will see you on the first day of winter.
Sounds great. Have a good one, you guys.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
And Heather, you can hang on, and
I gotcha.